Good evening all. Now we are playing ICI motto song. I request all to put their right hand on their heart. Fanil bhai.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्द्वैता 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 एतद्द्वैता.
So good evening all. Now I request Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, CA Fanil Shah sir, to give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Vishen bhai. Dr. Jitesh Nagori ji, the very learned speaker for the evening, and Commissioner CGST Gandhinagar, CA Bishan Shah, Secretary of Branch, and all the members, I welcome you all to this very important session we are having today with respect to a new or an amended concept. Now, before we move ahead with this particular concept, I would just like to update you that now from every Sunday, we are having a session on health in the morning. And we got a very overwhelming response to the particular session we had since last 2 Sundays. And so on next Sunday also, we are having in morning a session on health. And in evening, we are having a 1 hour session where we will be having various learnings from our sculptures, from our Vedas, and just in half an hour or an hour session, because in this time, it's very important that in order to fight out this COVID-19, 2 types of stability is required: health stability and mental stability. The health stability will be provided by this kind of health sessions, and mental stability can be won by knowing something from our sculptures. Apart from that, on 12th of December, in the morning, we are having a session from CA Gautam Pai on what will be the roadmap of India in the coming times under the new schemes coming of Atmanirbhar Bharat and everything. Also on 21st of December, we are having a seminar with respect to GST and real estate and construction sector. Apart from this, friends, today morning, you might have received the newsletter. Kindly go through the same to get yourself abreasted with the updates of the same. And if yet you or any of your colleagues have missed to pay the membership fees, then it is extended for further 15 days. And friends, branch has now started one more initiative of providing opportunities to authors and writers who want articles. So we are inviting articles or write-ups. Already we had on Social Security Code. Now you can write on Industrial Relationship Code, amended CSR provisions, the amendments which came in Companies Amended Act. All the details are there in the newsletter which you received today. So I request you kindly go through the same. And if you're willing to contribute the articles, you can contribute on the same. So again, I thank Dr. Jitesh Nagori for accepting our invitation and coming to address all the members. We are privileged enough on branch that Commissioner sir is here to address us on a very important topic. Now I request CA Bishan Shahji to take the session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman sir. It is our privilege that we are having chairman like you, and though you are COVID positive and spending your time in quarantine, you are helping the fraternity and members. Chairman sir, thank you so much for your vision and your dedication. We wish you a speedy recovery and wish that we all will meet in physical mode as soon as possible with new normal. Now coming to introduction of our distinguished faculty for the today, Dr. Jitesh Nagori sir. I can say that sir is humble, simple, and easy to meet and guide us, and that's why he is here for a second time to guide us in new GST return scheme, that is quarterly return monthly payment, a QRMP. That is what we all are knowing. Sir was there in CSTAT, and he worked with all legal representatives like us there shoulder to shoulder, and he is so much guide, like having a attitude to guide us, that you can go visit him, and whenever, wherever, if there is any issue, he is ready to solve. That is what I can briefly introduce, sir. And he is having charge of Gandhinagar zone, which is I guess including of Palanpur, Mehsana, Disa, Himmatnagar, Idar. So not restricted only to Gandhinagar area as such. Sir, with these words, we welcome you at Ahmedabad branch, and we request you to take it forward and address the audience. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vishanji. Thanks, Fanil bhai. Actually, I was in fact, I was talking to Vishanji for last 10, 15 days, 15 or 20 days. Since the scheme was launched, so I was quite interested to have a joint session where not only from the CA community or fraternity can join, also some of our officers. They can also join, because this is a very new something, and it is better for the proper implementation that you are the representative of the trade and we are the representative of the government. So both should have the clarity of the scheme, and since the time when the both sides will be clear, then only we both, and I think, will be able to guide the taxpayer in a proper way, to explain him the features in a proper way. So there was some delay because there was some COVID issue, etc. There was a festival season. So anyway, so it has been conducted today, and it is my I'll say it is. I'm fortunate, at least I'm able to get this platform of ICI, where at least we can have a discussion, we can have at least presentation and the intellectual talk on the different topics. So thanks again on all that part for organizing, even with odd situation, I'll say odd situation, odd problems, difficulties, health issues, everything. I appreciate the efforts of the designated officers, dignitaries of ICI. So I'll start this thing. Basically today we'll discuss. So first I'll give you some feedback about that. As you all know that government is doing a lot of taking initiative to make different kind of facilitation, to give different kind of facility to make the procedural and compliance level easier for the taxpayer. GST is already completed 3 years, and still we are trying our best, but still there are certain things, still the taxpayers are not certain level up to this comfort they feel with the compliance and all that part. And that is the reason the government is, every time they are considering, suggestions have been given to the government on the different footing, then various amendments have been made in the act, in the procedures, everything. So if we go for the last, in the COVID, I think time, for the last 7-8 months, number of, you can say, this initiative has been taken by the government, like where earlier the GSTR 3B, the nil return, where used to be. Now the government has made quite easier, where you can file the GSTR 3B return only with the SMS. Then subsequently it was applicable even for the composition tax scheme also. Then another initiative which was taken by the government is regarding the GSTR 2B, where I think the taxpayer can have the exact idea about what is the eligibility of the ITC which is having and how it can be utilized, which part of the ITC is not eligible as per the rules. So that is another facilitation. Then another third thing, you can say facilitation as well as for to ensure, to curb the evasion or the fake elements also. There is a e-invoicing. Initially, it has been applicable from 1st of October for all the taxpayers who are having the turnover more than 500 crores. Then 1st of January, the government is planning to apply it for all these taxpayers having more than 100 crore turnovers. Then 1st of April, next year 2021, it is proposal to make it mandatory for all the units irrespective of the taxpayer or their turnover. So it will be easier to generate different kind of returns where you only, I think you can get the e-invoice, ARN number you can get, you'll get it, and your GSTR1, etc. Everything can be generated, and then next year onwards, GSTR1, I think they are going to mandatory. So at least when it is mandatory and the entries have been made, then the GSTR3 can be auto-populated, etc. A lot of things are there. And then QR code also. So these are the various facilitation measures just to make the compliance easier by the government, made by the government. And it is the responsibility of all of us to reach all these, you can say, this reforms or these kind of facilitation by the government to the ultimate taxpayer. So he could be aware about what exactly is the schemes and what exactly are the provisions. So now I'll come about the today's we are having the topic quarterly return monthly payment. That is QRMP which you are saying. So I'll be giving you about some of the detailed presentation on this topic will be made by our colleague Mr. Ashok Nair. He will be making the detailed representation. So before going for the detailed representation, I'll be giving you some glimpse of the schemes and what exactly was there. So this scheme is going to be applicable from 1st of January 2021. And eligibility is quite clear. All the people who are having the turnover up to 5 crore in the previous year, they will be entitled for the scheme to apply for the scheme. Now, schemes will be applicable for all the people who have filed the return up to 30th November. Whoever filed the return of the October month up to 30th November, the GSTN is going to migrate them on self mode. There is no requirement for them to make any representation, any application on that part up to all this taxpayer who are having the turnover up to 5 crore. So there are three categories in the GSTN has made up to 1.5 crore. The people who are already availing the quarterly return scheme, they will be transmitted to the new scheme. Another thing is the second category is there where 1.5 to 5 crore, they will be also migrated by the GSTN. And the third category, what will be there, that is the 1.5 crore who are paying the monthly and who are filing the return on monthly basis. They will be migrated on the monthly basis only. They are not going to be migrated for quarterly, but there are the options to the taxpayer. Suppose someone has been migrated to the quarterly scheme return and monthly payment, he is not willing, he wants to go for the regular return scheme, he can always opt out. The reason for the GSTN to make it mandatory was there because the government predicts that there are 80 to 90 lakhs GSTN are there who are falling in this category. So they thought it is easier because what it is presumed, this is a beneficial, this is an attractive scheme for all the small taxpayer. So this was a call was taken at least to migrate them, or suppose someone is not comfortable or someone is not easy with the scheme, he can always opt out from the scheme. Now the people who have not filed the return up to 30th November, they still have the option, at least they will have to file the return, all their returns till the month of October. And after filing the return from 5th of December, they can make this application, they can make application for this transmission for this to the new scheme from 5th of December to 31st of January. There will be window will be open for them, so they can go for that. So the criteria is for the 5 crores. Now the compliance is quite easy. You can find out from the name also. It's a quarterly return. So the return are quarterly, which are the GSTR1 and GSTR3B. These are going to be quarterly, and payment monthly. So irrespective of the quarterly return, the payment you will have to do on only monthly basis. That is the first month and second month. And second month and third month, because first month, whatever the clearance will be there, that will be for the second month and the third month. Now, a biggest relief which I can tell to the taxpayer in this regard, which were actually, I think number of representations were received by us regarding Rule 36(4). You are aware that the government has this notified 36(4) few months back, where it was made mandatory that the taxpayer can avail the credit only when the return return has been filed by the supplier in GSTR 1 and it is reflected in GSTR 2A. Now, there was a big hue and cry if the GST return has not been filed by the supplier, then there was a restriction of 20%, which was subsequently it was reduced to 10%. The taxpayer cannot avail the credit of more than 10% of the total credit which is eligible to them. So this 36(4) and this was applied this year only, and then there was a many number of representation you can tell from the different kind of trade bodies, etc. This was regarding the quarterly return. Now the question was raised, the people who are filing the return GSTR 1 on the quarterly basis, how it should be ensured that the recipient of these kind of supply are getting the credit within the time, because in absence of filing of the GSTR 1, there cannot be any auto-populated credit in the 2A. So this was the big question. This was referred to the government a number of times. Now this issue has been taken care with the introduction of IFF, Invoice Furnishing Facility. That is a big reform which I would like to highlight, at least for this scheme. Here, even you are filing the return on the quarterly basis, the biggest benefit or the attraction of the scheme which I find, it's the introduction of this invoice furnishing facility. Here, the taxpayer can upload and save the invoices from 1st to 13th. So whatever invoices you have issued from date of 1st to next to the 13th, you can upload it on the invoice furnishing facility. It will be uploaded. It will be saved. It will be saved. When you are saving it, it will be reflected in the GSTR 2A of your recipient, and your recipient will be able to take the credit whatever invoice you have raised to him. So, but there is a limit of 50 lakhs. You cannot cross 50 lakhs in a month specifically for this thing. So this is the one thing which is quite important. Once you have shown any invoice under IFF, you need not to show again the same in the GSTR 1. GSTR 1, you will have to file the quarterly. This is also an optional mode for you. You want to go for the IFF, then it is easier for them. So at least the biggest hurdle in the ITC form, which you can say regarding non-filing of the GSTR 1 by the supplier, now it has been done away. So the recipient can take the credit ITC of the invoice on the month. There is no issue. At least that is a big relief to the taxpayer in the scheme, which I would like to highlight. Now another this thing I'll give a very short this thing to you and this detail. My colleague will tell about in detail. Now payment scheme, you are having two options. If you want to make actual payment, you are free to make the actual payment. If you don't want to actual payment, then the GSTN on the basis of your previous payment, they are populating the automated challenge for you. That will be 35% for the first month, 35% for the second month, and rest will be the third month. And now, and for that also, there another benefit or facility given to the taxpayer is that if you are having the sufficient balance in an electronic credit ledger, in electronic cash ledger, you need not to pay the tax in actual if you are having the balance. And even suppose you are find there was some short payment, 35%, actually actual liability was quite more than that. Even then, if you are filing the final return GSTR 3B on time, you need not to pay any interest component on the particular amount which was short paid at the particular time. That is another big, I think, can say benefit for the taxpayers. And definitely whatever the compliance level are there, compliance definitely rather filing 3 returns in 3 months. Now the taxpayer will need to file only 1 return. So each return takes a lot of compliance, and the department feels the compliance to reduce the unnecessary compliance burden for specifically for the small taxpayers. This scheme has been launched to give relief, to give ensure the trade facilitation and all the minimization of the compliance level. And the dates will be the same. I think for GSTR, I think 1 it will be the 13th of the next month of the quarter, and the 22 and for 3B it will be 22, since we are in the Gujarat. So these are the few glimpses or the features of the scheme. It's quite easy, quite attractive. It's a quite you can say beneficial to the small taxpayer, and So only requirement was there that they should be clear about the requirement of the scheme. So only one thing which right now they need to ensure, at least to file their all the returns, so they can be eligible to opt for the scheme. That is the first requirement, and the remaining etc. When they enter, when they opt for the scheme, they can get this all the details about the scheme. So these are the small main features which I discussed with you. And now I'll just request my colleague Mr. Ashok Nair. He can make a detailed representation giving all plus minus details and everything about the scheme. So at least it will be clarity for all of us, not only for the departmental officer, even for the chartered accountant fraternity also, to get the exact idea what the scheme is. Now, Mr. Nair can make the representation.
Yes, sir. We welcome Ashok Nair, sir, for detailed his presentation. And also, if any participant has any query, questions, then please put the same in the chat box. At the end of the presentation of Nair, sir, we will try to discuss and deliberate and try to resolve those queries. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nagori, sir. And now we welcome Ashok Nair, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir, and a very good afternoon to all the distinguished participants. I am Ashok Nair, Superintendent, and I'll be presenting the PPT on this QRMP scheme. First page. As we know, the scheme itself is known as QRMP scheme, that is quarterly return monthly payment scheme. As sir has actually elaborated on this scheme, but I would say it is a recently introduced initiative of the government, and the basic eligibility for availing the scheme is the taxpayer, all the taxpayers who are having the turnover up to 5 crores in the preceding financial year, that is 2019-20. All the taxpayers who are having a turnover up to 5 crores in the preceding financial year are eligible for this scheme. And also to mention here that those taxpayers who have crossed the who had turnover of less than 5 crore in the preceding year, but who have crossed the turnover of 5 crore in this year are not eligible for this scheme. The scheme starts, as said, from the 1st Jan 2021, that is the quarter from January 21 to March 21. Next. Now, to implement the scheme, the government has issued the notification making amendments in the rules. There are 4 basic notification issued for this purpose. Notification 81, that is that stipulates the date on this, or that is 10/11/20, on which the scheme has been introduced. Notification 82 is an important notification. This is the notification which makes the changes in the relevant rules for implementation of this. That is Rule 59 of the CGST rules for those furnishing of how to furnish the details, and the next Rule 60 regarding the furnishing of inward supplies. Then the taxpayer, the facility of IFF that were discussed by sir. For that, it is Rule 60. So notification 82 is about the change in the rules for this scheme. Then there is notification number 84. That notification is pertaining to automatic categorization of the taxpayer. So while introducing the scheme, the government, for the benefit of the taxpayers, so that they need not apply for the scheme, they have categorized the taxpayers into 3 different categories. That is, there are those registered taxpayers who are having a turnover up to 1.5 crore. they will be now filing they are already filing the quarterly returns. Those taxpayer who are below the 1.5 crore but still paying monthly returns, they are they will be continuing to file the monthly return until they opt for this scheme. And the remaining category of taxpayers who are having turnover more than 1.5 crores to 5 crores, the government has automatically migrated them to this scheme. And those taxpayers who don't want to opt for this, they have then option to opt out of the scheme. Otherwise, they need not opt, especially make any application or follow any procedure to come avail this scheme. Besides this, there is one circular also, circular number 143, that is dated 10th November. I would request all of you to go this, because it is a very elaborate circular explaining all the nuances of this scheme, and it is very easy to understand also. Next. 25th of the impact of the scheme is, as sir said, that while opting for a quarterly return, always it was a concern that how the credit availability of the buyers of such taxpayers. So for that, there is a facility given of IFF, invoice furnishing facility, that every taxpayer who opts for this scheme can file this, use this facility and upload the invoices by 13th of the succeeding month, so that their buyers can have the ITC facility of this. That IFF facility has to be filed by 13th of the succeeding month. After that, you won't be able to file that. Regarding payment, there is facility that all the taxpayer who are opting for this scheme, there are two types of payment facility. I will discuss it later, but this payment has to be done on the 25th of the subsequent month. Last quarter. The crucial dates, there are, you need to know the crucial dates of this scheme. The crucial dates are, the first is that the scheme is being implemented from 1st January 2021. The period for availing the scheme, that is, any taxpayer who want to opt for a scheme, he can opt for the scheme from first day of the second month of the preceding quarter and up to the first 31st last day of the first month of the just for an example, is a registered person intending to avail the scheme for quarter July to September can exercise his option from 1st May to 31st July. If he is exercising his option on 27th of July, that is for July to, in such case, he should have filed the return for the month of June by the 22nd or 24th of the July. That means any taxpayer who want to opt for this scheme, he should have filed all the returns up to the preceding month. Suppose he is opting for the scheme for July to September, then he should have filed the return up to June by the 22nd, or in Gujarat it is 22nd. So by 22nd of July, he should have filed the return of the month of June. That is how they can opt for the scheme. Every quarterly return, that is the quarterly return, has to be filed on the succeeding month of the quarter by 22nd. It is 22nd or 24th, but for Gujarat it is 22nd. So all the taxpayers who are opting for the QRMP scheme, they will have to file their quarterly return on the subsequent month. That is from January to March. For the quarter of January to March, they should have filed the return by 22nd of April. Similarly, the payment, that monthly payment has to be done by the 25th of every month. Again, this is the compliance of submission regarding the submission of outward supply. As sir said that the major concern for if this scheme is implemented was that the buyers of the taxpayer opting for this scheme, their ITC would be restricted. So here in this scheme, the facility has been introduced by the government that every taxpayer who is opting for the scheme can file, upload the invoices up to 50 lakhs rupees by 13th of every month. So in that by doing this, the buyer of the taxpayer will be able to avail the ITC, and there will be no bar on ITC facility availment by the buyer of such taxpayers who are opting for this scheme. The only such invoice of B2B, any business to business invoices can only be uploaded, not the B2C invoices cannot be uploaded. That is true, because in B2C cases, there is no question of ITC. So the government has given this facility that only B2B invoices can be uploaded. And this availment of this facility of IFF, invoice furnishing facility, is optional. It has not been made mandatory. So it is up to the taxpayer. If we want to help his buyer, he may opt for the, he may avail this facility. Otherwise, no, there is no compulsion on the in the act or by the government to for the taxpayer to upload these invoices. Now the payment facility. Now government, in this case, the taxpayers opting for this scheme, they can they can avail two methods of payment of tax. There is facility of two methods. First is fixed sum method and second is self-assessment method. In fixed sum method, that is a taxpayer who was filing quarterly returns before opting for the scheme. In that purpose, in that case, the taxpayer will have to pay a fixed amount of 35% of the tax paid in his quarterly return. Suppose he has in the preceding quarter, he has before opting for this scheme, he had filed a quarterly return and he had paid a tax of 100 rupees. Then after opting for this scheme, every month that taxpayer will have to make a payment of 35 rupees by 24th of the subsequent month. Similarly, for first every month he will have to file 35%, and the balance the 30% he has to file at the time of filing the 3B for the quarter. There is another method is self-assessment method. In the self-assessment method, the taxpayer has the option to assess his tax on his own, and he can make the payment according to his own assessment. The only difference in these two methods is, suppose the taxpayer opts for the fixed assessment method, he will have a protection from interest liability. And this in this self-assessment method, if there is any shortfall or anything, in self-assessment method, the interest will be calculated from the date of due date of payment for the first every month. That is, for the quarter of January to March, if taxpayer is opting for self-assessment method, then if he has made any short payment for the month of January, then he will have to make the payment of interest sorry, from January to up to the date of his filing of the 3B for the quarter in April. In fixed sum method, suppose the taxpayer makes a payment of 35%, but the actual liability was more than 35%. In that case, he will not be required to pay any interest at the time of filing the 3B, because this assessment is based on his previous return, and the government has said that no interest will be levied on the taxpayer opting for fixed tax payment. I have just shown this slide. You can see just an example, okay, how the interest will be calculated and all. Suppose for the first table, suppose a person's tax liability was 10 for the previous quarter, then in every quarter he has to pay 3.5 rupees, 3.5 rupees and 3 rupees. That is how the tax will be, payment has to be made. And one thing more, suppose I had talked only of taxpayer who are filing quarterly return. In case the taxpayer before opting for the scheme, if they were filing monthly return, then for every month they have to make the payment of the month preceding they opting for the quarter. They will have to that particular amount. Suppose at the time of filing quarterly return, if that amount is less or more, then no interest liability will be charged. Tax 24th of the tax liability of the revised time limits are that the taxpayer opting for this scheme, as of now, they were required to make the tax payment at the filing of 3B. But now in this case, the tax payment can be made by the 25th of the following month. So there is a small extension in the time for making the payment of the tax. Again, this has been already discussed, details of outward supply. So I'm not... See, as I was talking about the interest liability, no interest would be payable in case the due is paid in the first month of the quarter by way of depositing auto-calculated fixed sum amount. In other words, if while furnishing return in Form 3B, it is found that in any or both of the first 2 months of the quarter, the tax liability net of available credit on supplies made / received was higher than the amount paid in challan, then no interest would be charged provided the deposit system calculated amount sorry, for each of the first 2 months and discharge their entire liability for the quarter in Form 3B of the quarter by the due date. For registered person making payment of tax by opting self-assessment method, interest amount would be payable as per the provision of Section 50 CGST or any part thereof net IT which remains unpaid beyond due date for the first month, 2 months of the quarter. That means, as I would want, this is a one important feature of this scheme. That is why I'm reiterating time and again. If taxpayer, would be advisable for going for the fixed sum method, because in that case they will not required to work out any assessment, because they will have to make the payment as per the data already available with them and return filed by them for the previous period. As far as self-assessment method, the taxpayer will again have to go for assessment and working out his all liability and all. So to avoid this, it would be better for going for a fixed sum method. Or the other thing is, there is no interest liability in fixed sum method, and in self-assessment method, the taxpayer will be required to make the payment of interest from the due date of every month. late fee is applicable for delay in furnishing of return. That means the quarterly return, there is no much change in this. Accordingly, the quarterly return, if it is filed any delay, the late fee as applicable will be made applicable to the taxpayer. However, since it is now that it is a quarterly return, the effort of filing monthly return is avoidable. So it will, I'm sure that the taxpayer would find it easy to file the quarterly return within the due date, prescribed due date, to avoid any late fee payment. Some important points again of this scheme is again, just I am repeating because already discussed earlier also, the aggregate turnover of 5 crore, in case aggregate turnover exceeds 5 crores during the current financial year, the taxpayer will not be eligible for funding in quarterly basis from the first month of the quarter succeeding the quarter. That means from the next quarter, he will have to again file monthly returns. Option to avail QRMP scheme is GSTN wise, and therefore different GST number on the same PAN have the option to avail QRMP scheme for one or more GSTN. In simple words, some GSTNs for the PAN can opt for QRMP scheme and the remaining GSTN may not opt for the scheme. It is up to the taxpayer on which GSTNs he want to opt for the scheme. Aggregate annual turnover for preceding year shall be calculated in the common portal, taking into account the details furnished in the returns for the tax periods in the preceding financial year. That means the government, while opting, migrating the existing taxpayers with below 5 crore turnover, that aggregate turnover will be calculated on the basis of details already furnished by them for the preceding financial year. Option to file 3B can be availed any time during the year for the first day of the second month of the preceding quarter till the last day of the first month of the quarter for which the option is being exercised. Means they have quite a long time to analyze and decide whether they want to opt for the scheme or not, looking to the benefits, how much beneficial it is for them. Again, the taxpayer continues to fall under the QRMP scheme once they have opted for the same. The scheme will be valid for all future periods. They don't have to keep renewing their option. It will be once they have opted, unless they become ineligible or they voluntarily opt out of the scheme, they will be eligible for, they will continue to be in the scheme. Thank you.
Nair sir, thank you very much. There is one question from one of the participants.
Yes.